Noah got to see his first girl-on-girl fucking sex scene.
Oh God! Did he know what was happening? Or?
You know what's so funny is because normally he like looks away during sex scenes. He did not look away during that one.
Wait, were you and Drea both like?
We both
like, oh.
Yeah, we both looked at each other, and she looked at me. And we're like, oh. I'm like, well, here we go.
Did he question it, or did he like?
No, I actually said, I was like, well, there you go, Noah.
Daddy, my pants are too tight suddenly.
In a world of bad movies, two follically challenged men will stop at nothing to share their opinions of them. Their wives are tired of listening. But are you? This isn't the podcast you deserve, but it's the one you need. Prepare yourself for Bald Guys and Bad Movies.
Welcome to Bald Guys and Bad Movies, episode 86. I am Troy. Here with my good buddy,
Mike Stella.
Mike.
Stella!
We're back.
We're back.
They're back.
Who gives a fuck?
Where have we been, Mike?
We have been busy. I don't know. We've been trying to head to video, but we realized that this might be a long process, so we thought we'd throw another episode out there for you. At least Troy did. Came up with the idea yesterday. He's like, hey, you want to record? I'm like, let's do it.
Also, the world may not be here next week. With all the bad shit going on in the world, India and Pakistan.
I think Troy was just missing his 2-hour talk with with his best friend, which I say I have been missing that. I have been missing it. So
well, we've been chatting though.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the same. I feel like this is really I don't know. It's nice. It's nice to chat about stuff.
Well, it feels wrong to talk about the shit we talk about on the podcast with a mic not in front of us.
Yes, I would have to agree.
Feels like just, tossing the gold out with the dirt.
I know.
Like, what are we doing here? Think of all the jewels we've dropped.
Absolutely.
And didn't record.
All the jewels, all the turds, everything.
Wait, sidebar here. Your son was just in a play.
Absolutely. He was the coroner in The Wizard of Oz, and it was phenomenal.
As coroner, I must ever I thoroughly examined her, and she's not only merely dead, she's really most sincerely dead.
Woo! And I didn't fucking know they had coroners in The Wizard of Oz.
Well, the thing is, in the movie, all the Munchkins have those weird fucking voices. You can't understand a thing they're saying, And I guarantee you the last time you watched that movie, you didn't even think about putting subtitles on. So, unlike nowadays where I literally watch everything with subtitles. The only problem with watching stuff with subtitles, like if there's a good like sex scene or boob scene, like it covers up everything you want to see. That's like the one issue I have with subtitles. I'm like, son of a bitch!
How big are your subtitles?
I mean, depends on the
for
movie.
the vision impaired setting.
No, it's just they're just that's the
Did
size.
that get in the way of your Basic Instinct review? There was that one scene when he's down on Sharon Stone, like peeking. It's pretty disturbing. But he's a character actor. Your son, he played many roles.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't just a coroner.
He was the coroner, and he was an apple tree. He was an apple tree all 4 performances. He was a coroner 2 of them. Mm-hmm. They're doing a raffle for the props, and one of the props is the death certificate, and oh my god, I want to get that so bad for Noah. Like, I really hope we get that. Like,
oh, why didn't you just give it to him? Like,
well, there's two kids who played the coroner for one thing.
Oh shit!
And my whole thing is but it's open to like anyone who was in the play, and I'm just like, come on, man, like,
yeah,
that's some bullshit.
And he's got a groupie. One groupie.
I don't
confirmed, right?
I don't know if it's confirmed. I think she just, is friends with him and so gave him a flower.
Yeah, she liked how he looked in those little Munchkin tights.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing tights, but I see where you're going.
Oh, right. He was wearing no pants.
He was just wearing a diaper.
That explains everything.
He was wearing jeans. He was wearing black pants. Okay, just so we know.
The Stella bait was in full display for everyone, drawing the flies to the honey. So anyway, yeah, that was cool. It was a very awesome play, well produced.
Yeah,
like
great play,
amazing,
really cool. Shout out to Chad from Theater 31 and Amy Beeman Solano.
Better production value than Madam Web. So, Mike, what are we reviewing today?
Today, we are reviewing The Last of Us Season 2, Episodes 1 through 4.
A moth. That probably means change and growth.
No, that would be a butterfly.
So what's a moth?
Death. If you believe in that shit.
Now that we know what we're dealing with, we can come up with a plan.
Let's just do what we came to do. We have automatic weapons.
You lunatics have bows and arrows and superstition. So tell me, how are we going to lose?
Get on the ground!
Every day, one of your wolves comes to see the truth.
I'll go back if you want, and I'll keep going if you want. So what do you want to do?
Disclaimer, I did not watch these with an episode of Bald Guys in mind. So
this should be fun.
As shitty as I am at this job to begin with, I'm going to be even worse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've both played the video game.
I mean, one thing I will say is they, more than any other piece of media, like adapted media, I think this does a great job of really sticking close to the source material. And while just giving extra parts that really just enhance it, and I haven't really seen much that's detracted from it. So that's pretty cool.
For the people that don't know, let me give a brief summary. The Last of Us Season 2 is the second season of the American post-apocalyptic drama television series based on the video game franchise developed by Naughty Dog. It's set 25 years into a pandemic caused by mass fungal infection, which causes its host to transform into zombie-like creatures and collapses society. The second season, based on the 2020 game The Last of Us Part 2. 2020? Wow. So that came out during the pandemic?
No way.
I guess it did.
Oh, no, it came out like the beginning of 2020, because I remember all of you guys talking about it in the lunch area at work. So it must have been like the beginning of 2020.
Right before the pandemic.
Right before the pandemic. Pretty fitting, right?
Apropos, right? Shit. The game was really good. The second season follows Joel, Pedro Pascal, and Ellie, Bella Ramsey, 5 years after the events of the first season, after they are settled into Jackson, Wyoming, with Joel's brother, Tommy, and Ellie's friends, Dina and Jesse. Season 2 is the second game, and I hear split into 2 seasons, right?
I'm thinking at least 2 seasons. People are going to lose their fucking mind next season. If they do the same thing they did with the game.
Oh, yeah.
They lose their motherfucking minds. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for it.
We're gonna get into spoilers. We won't do game
spoilers. We won't give that away. But man, people are gonna lose their motherfucking minds.
But spoilers awesome. For episode 1 through 4. But yeah, there are more spoilers that come. Although it's hard to talk about what you're talking about, without giving it away, and I won't.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it'll have the same impact. Because it's different when you're playing the game.
Oh, I think it's going to have more of an impact, to tell you the truth. So? I do. I think I think people are going to be like, what? I think because that's the whole thing with Last of Us Part 2 is you can't deny that it's a great story, right? Yeah. You might hate what they did for the second half of the game, but the story is phenomenal, right? So you can't argue that.
Right.
I worry that I'm going to fucking love it when they do this, when they do what they did in the game for season 3 of the show. People are going to lose their fucking minds.
Well, for the record, I hope you're right, because it's really enjoyable.
Yeah.
For the first big twist, which we're going to spoil the hell out of in a few.
Yeah.
watching the reactions to that, it's like pretty fucking amazing. Dude.
Oh, dude, yeah, I got a good I got to tell you about. I think I told you about it already. So that's the one sad thing about not knowing we were going to do this is we talked about The Last of Us a bunch already, but we'll bring it all back. We can dig deep. And
I know the anecdote you're talking about. So
yeah,
you should,
absolutely.
Immortalize it here in the podcast.
It's so good. Anyways,
so would you recommend? This is the obvious question, of course.
10 out of 10, highly recommend.
So for someone who's watched season 1, do you feel so far episodes 1 through 4 hold up in terms of comparison to the intensity of season 1? Like, do you feel like it's the same?
I will say, I believe it was episode 3 was a little less intense. Like when she's traveling to Seattle, I think that one was a little less exciting as the other 3.
Mm-hmm.
But playing the game, like that was something that happened in the game too. There was a very big lull. And it wasn't even a lull. It was like, I kind of like it, especially in the game, because it really is a calm before the storm.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with it in the show too. But when it's an entire episode, it feels a little hard because you're like, well, are we going to get something good this episode? Like every episode gives you something. And that episode was a little less, I don't know, action-packed, so to speak.
I will say of the first 4, like compared to season 1, I think HBO threw a lot more budget at season 2 because season 1 was so. Because the second episode, the attack on Jackson,
that was the first episode, wasn't it?
Was that?
Yeah, that was the first episode. I thought. No. Well, we're getting into spoilers, everyone. So yeah, turn off now if you haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen it, what the fuck are you doing, okay? Because if you haven't seen it now, you're probably never going to watch it. So listen if you want to spoil it. I don't know what to say.
The attack on Jackson, I'm positive, is the second episode.
Okay. It was phenomenal.
But it was like Battle of the Bastards level.
Oh, yeah.
I think I told when we were talking about it, like it felt like Game of Thrones season finale level.
Yeah.
And it's fucking episode 2.
Yeah.
And then episode 4, you get another horde attack.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And one of the critiques I had for season 1, I felt like there wasn't enough like zombie action.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have the budget. They threw all their budget at that one big scene in the town.
Mm-hmm. With the sniper guy. And
exactly.
Joel's trying to protect Ellie.
That they threw all their budget at that scene, and which I thought was a good move on their part. I felt like they peppered it in enough to make it good, but not spread it out so much to where they don't have a nice big impactful moment somewhere in the first season.
Yeah. Because you need, at least needed one moment of overwhelming force.
Absolutely.
Because in the game, you experience that in droves for the most part, right? So, but yeah, season 2 so far has not disappointed. Here's the big giant spoiler. The season starts, episode 1 starts, and Ellie and Joel aren't on speaking terms. You don't really know why. In the show, I don't think you find out yet, right? They haven't revealed that yet.
No, they haven't revealed it, but you
could put 2 and 2 together, maybe.
I don't know if it's just because I played the game, but I mean, if you've seen season 1 and then you see his conversation with the psychiatrist, like you kind of know why she's pissed off at him because he told her about what happened at the end of season 1, how he killed everyone instead of letting her choose what. And that's the whole thing. That's my thing. I always thought was fucked up was that if they'd have given her a choice, she would have probably chose to let them chop her up. You know what I mean? Like,
and to remind folks, we're talking about the end of season 1.
End of season 1,
Ellie is
being prepped for surgery so they can harvest her brain, so they can figure out how to create a cure or a vaccine
because she's immune.
Because she's immune, and Joel finds this out and kills everyone at the facility, grabs her, saves her, and gets out and takes her back to Jackson.
And in the operating room, he kills an unarmed doctor, which plays heavily into the setup for the conflict in season 2.
Exactly.
So yeah, Joel in season 2 starts, they're not on speaking terms. You don't know why. Ellie's smitten with Dina, who's this new character.
I love her. I love her in everything. She is so good. I love that actress.
Oh, what else has she been in?
Dude, she's been in tons of stuff. She was Dora the Explorer. Have you seen the Dora the Explorer movie?
Oh, she's Dora.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen
It's so good, dude. It's so funny, man. It was way better than I expected it to be.
She's a fantastic actress.
She really is. She really is. And then she was in that horrible Spider Woman movie, whatever, Madam Web thing. She's been in a bunch of other stuff.
Shit, she was in that?
Yeah, she's been in a bunch of other stuff that I can't name off the top of my head. But look her up. She's been in a lot of things.
Oh, she was the grumpy one, the street tough.
I believe so. Yes,
one.
yes.
Okay.
And but she's
Madam
great.
Web. We never reviewed Madam Web. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Talk about a bad movie. Some low hanging fruit right there.
We're reviewing a masterpiece show and talking about a shit movie.
I know. It's so funny.
So yeah, there's conflict. There's blossoming love.
Noah got to see his first girl-on-girl fucking sex scene.
Oh God! Did he know what was happening? Or?
He, you know, what's so funny is because normally he like looks away during sex scenes. He did not look away during that one.
Wait, were you and Drea both like?
We both
like, oh.
Yeah, we both looked at each other, and she looked at me, and we're like, "Rrr." I'm like, well, here we go.
Did he question it, or did he like?
No, I actually said, I was like, well, there you go,
Daddy,
Noah.
my pants are too tight suddenly. Oh,
it was very funny. Let's just say it was a very funny little situation.
Okay,
but anyways.
Oh yeah, and Joel's seeing a therapist, and the therapist is a new character, I believe. Yes, I'm positive. She's a new character played by Catherine O'Hara,
and
she
amazing.
may be my favorite, other than Jeffrey Wright, who's not a new character.
Right, he's from the game.
Yeah, he's from the game, and I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, me too.
He voiced the character in the game,
and he was good.
But Catherine O'Hara was fucking amazing. Like. They say that comedians can do really well in dramatic roles.
Oh, absolutely.
I think all comedians have a little bit of darkness they have to tap to get that comedy.
Well, it's just
out,
like nice people play the best villains. You know what I mean? Like, and their villains are the most fun to play. I remember when I was in high school in a play, I played a villain, and it was so much fun. I got to beat the shit out of some kids, feed them sulfur. It was dope.
The way I took it, Joel killed her husband because her husband obviously turned.
Yeah.
But the way he did it, she kept saying the how you did it, like he was. Did you catch that?
It seemed like he didn't like him, and it seemed to me like I did catch something weird. It seemed to me like he didn't like the guy anyways, and so when he turned, he was like, I get to kill this guy. You know what I mean?
He wasn't delicate enough for her. So, and I'm glad they didn't like elaborate and explain that more.
Because it doesn't need to be, and
it doesn't need to be, and whatever you and I can cook up is probably much better than them just flat out saying it.
Catherine O'Hara is so good when she's like drinking.
She's amazing.
She has the fucking cooler at the Little League game, and she's like, he was like, oh, I just it's like a little early, don't you think? She's like, well, that's because I'm an alcoholic, Tommy, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was pretty fucking funny.
Episode 2 is when all hell breaks loose, literally and figuratively and plot-wise and everywhere you can think of.
So we're already in spoilers.
So this is a major, major spoiler.
Joel dies.
Yes.
And when you play it in the game, you're like, holy fuck. Like, they fucking did that?
Not only does he die, he gets beaten to death.
Beaten to death. Yeah, like literally, like. So it turns out that the daughter of the surgeon is this chick named Abby, and she's very upset about her father being murdered by Joel, and so tracks him down over the next 5 years and in the hopes of killing him, and she succeeds.
She gets lucky.
Lucky.
She gets a lot lucky.
She
fucking like stumbles on a horde
and then who saves her but fucking Joel, right? And then she fucking kills him. I'm like, oh my god.
And therein sets up the brilliance of the game, and so far so good with the show, because in the game, nope, can't get too far.
Oh, we're watching the show, right? And Andrea was like, "Oh shit!" Like when Joel saves her, she looks over, she's like, "Oh shit, it's Joel!" And I'm like, "Yep." And they're like, "Okay, well, something's gonna happen." And then they get back to the place, and she starts, puts a gun on him, starts beating the shit out of him, and well, shoots him in the leg first, right? And just beating the shit out of him. And Andrea's like, well, I mean, he can't die. I mean, they're like, he can't die. It's like, oh man, Ellie's gonna pop in right now, fucking murder this chick. And I was like, and literally, I was just staring straight ahead. I did not smile. I did not look over at my wife or son. I was just staring at the show. Do not look. Because one of my wife's pet peeves is she says I'm horrible to watch shows with if I already know what's going to happen. Because anytime something exciting or good is going to happen, I look over to like get her reaction. And I was like, I can't do it this time. I was like, I cannot do it this time.
Was your popcorn bowl like shaking?
Yeah,
you were trying so hard, like
exactly.
Kernels like flying all over the place.
Yeah. Like a flop sweat, like Key and Peele.
Like Key and Peele, yeah. Like, my favorite meme is him flop sweating.
And and so they start beating him. Like she pulls out the fucking golf club, like hits him with the golf club, and she's like, "Are they gonna kill?" She's like, "Wait, is he gonna get out of this?" And I'm literally like, do not look at her. Do not look at her. Do not respond in any way. And then sure enough, they cut away back to like the fight at the place. They cut back and he's just pulp on the ground, like still breathing, right? Ellie breaks in, whatever happens, and then she breaks the golf club. And Andrea's like, they're gonna fucking kill him. And I was just staring, and then they stab him. And the moment they stab him, I look over at Andrea. She's like, they fucking killed him. I'm like, I know. And
wait, did she say him or Pedro Pascal?
Him. I think they just said Joel. I think they killed Joel, right?
Well, because it's like they Janet lead everyone with this, right? Because there's no way Pedro Pascal.
You kill fucking Pedro Pascal.
Gets fucking like knifed in the shower.
He gets 9.
Right?
What he gets 9 episodes of a giant show. You know, and then you kill him. Like that's crazy, right?
The biggest actor on the planet, and you kill him in the second episode,
exactly.
which is great, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
So, when they cast him in season 1, I think both you and I, if we didn't say it, we thought it. This is genius.
Yeah, it is.
Because when season 2 comes, they fucking kill his ass.
I cannot believe that I was able to hold that inside for as long as I did. You know what I mean? And then I got a whole nother thing to hold in before next season. And I'm like, I'm not going to ruin it. God damn it. I'm not going to ruin it.
Well, but I will say, I think of the twist.
This is the bigger twist.
This is the biggest one.
Yeah, yeah. This other one's just going to drive people insane.
The other one's just going to piss you off.
It's just going to piss people
This rips your heart out.
Rips
the
it
next
out, yeah.
one's going to like
exactly,
piss you off,
exactly. So yeah, she just could not believe it, and I was like, I was like, could you tell? She was like, no, I did. I had no idea. I was like, did I do a good job? She's like, yes, you did a good job, Mike.
Sphincter release.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were both just blown away.
Her and your sphincter.
Yeah.
That was a big kick in the nuts.
Yeah.
In the game, and a lot of people fucking hated it, and I thought it was genius.
Killing Joel.
Yeah, because Joel, I'm not gonna say he deserves it because it's a gray world, right?
Right.
In real life, it's gray, right? But he did kill a lot of fucking people, and there's consequences.
But not just that, like they allude to all his time before you meet him, or like between the beginning of the pandemic and where the game like really kicks off. Like
he was like
was a fucking raider,
a knee breaker.
Yeah, he was basically a raider for years.
Right.
He had a lot of debt to pay, so to speak.
The devil's bargain. The debt was due.
That's right. You can only kill so many people before eventually you kill the wrong one and someone they care about actually has the ability to come back and take revenge.
I will say, and it's a thing they added, and they're really capitalizing on it, the tendrils.
Oh, yeah.
Because that wasn't in the game.
No, it was not.
And I remember listening to podcasts last year.
Yeah.
Whenever Neil Druckmann, the creator, why the fuck didn't I think of that? Because like if you step on that little vines or whatever, it's like a little network, right? Of nerves, and they can sense and draw. Like that's fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah, totally.
So the attack on Jackson is epic. And while that's happening, a big epic disaster, you having a small personal disaster happening simultaneously.
It's really, really good. Really, really smart.
And in the game, there wasn't an attack on Jackson like that.
No, that didn't happen.
Druckmann said it was alluded to in previous attacks, but they never showed it and saw it. So let's talk about Abby, because the actress who plays Abby,
I love her.
She's amazing, and she was their number one pick to play Ellie years ago when she was much younger, and they were going to do a movie. So when it came time to cast Abby, I think she was the first on the list, which is interesting. Before I knew that, I was like, she would have made a great Ellie.
I'm glad they didn't go the fucking beefcake route that they did with Abby in the game.
I think
we talked about that.
Yeah, the only reason they did that, and again, I learned this from the podcast, is in the game, they wanted a different feel and play style than Ellie, who's lanky and skinny. Abby in the game is fucking muscular and
buff,
which I thought was a nice touch. I mean, you're living in the fucking apocalypse, and you know, I don't know if they ever mentioned that in the game, but I was thinking that, you know, with her vendetta about a father being killed, she may have poured herself into like physical fitness. And
well, you know she does, because you see her in a flashback with her father when she's little and she's not buff like that. And then you see her 5 years later and she's buff all of a sudden. And you can tell that, you know, it did kind of change her. I doubt she would have done that if she didn't have her dad to... She didn't think, I need to avenge my dad, so I need to be ready.
You cast the right actress, you get the intensity that you need. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. Speaking of, the theme of love is a deadly thing continues through the season, because, I mean, that's basically the catalyst for the end of season 1. Joel can't let Ellie go, so he makes a major decision against her wishes. And in season 2, she is now on a blood vendetta.
Yep.
To avenge the death of Joel. Her and Dina are going to trek to Seattle. And Seattle, what's the line Dina says? Like, what the fuck is wrong with Seattle? Because Seattle has a lot of factions, huh, Mike?
Yes, they do. What I thought was funny was all like, what's with all the rainbows around here? Like, fucking pride, like these pride-filled rainbow people who live in Seattle. Okay.
And that was from the game too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember
podcast. And like, yeah, that's pulled straight from the game. And I didn't remember it.
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing about the game. The game, like, story happens as you're going to a place. It's not necessarily a cutscene. It's just the characters talking, or you're like moving a barrel, or
exactly,
you know, hopping on top of a crate, whatever. And episode 3 is when they're gearing up to go travel Seattle.
Right.
But the bigot who calls them dykes at the dance, her and Dina are dancing, and the bigot makes a comment, makes a big to-do of it. He ends up being an advocate for Ellie, because Ellie has to go to the town and plead to the town council, can we all do a posse and go get
Abby,
the people that killed Joel? That definitely wasn't in the game.
I don't think so.
I think in the game, you just fucking say, fuck it, let's go. Because it's a game, and the players want to play. They don't want to sit through a fucking council meeting. But this makes more sense, because this is what probably would happen. And I'm a feeling there'll be some consequences. Can't go into details yet, because of what happens later on. Nothing turns out well. By now, you know this show, like, it's very Game of Thrones-ish, where it don't get to like attach to anyone, and
because they will die,
and things don't go as you would like them to.
Which are most good shows. You know what I mean? Like if you can predict where it goes, it's not a very good show.
And what I like about the bigot, and this could be apropos for the times we live in, let's like equal ground for him and Ellie. Like, they both can agree that that's bullshit what happened.
Absolutely.
And if you just let them come in our town and murder one of ours and don't hunt them down and get some justice, they may come back.
Which is very true. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what the fuck's going to happen? We had a discussion about how now that Joel's dead, right? Now do we think Bella Ramsey can she be the tentpole now? Can she
carry the
can
load?
She carry the load for the rest of her time in the show?
And I remember, I don't know if you remember, you had a good point in our review of season 1, Because for you, there was some, and it may not be true now because she may have improved in your eyes. I think you said if you're in a scene with Pedro Pascal, you're going to be good because he's going to elevate you. Right. But there were some occasions where you felt like she just didn't quite nail it.
Yeah, but I also felt like they were kind of when she was trying to be like a funny little girl sort of scenes, and that's done. So I'm not too worried about it now because everything's going to be heavy. Or she's going to be acting, across from Isabella, whatever her last name is. I actually think she's going to be okay. One of the issues I have, and maybe it's just a superficial thing, was the reason why I thought Ellie was so good. I really liked the dichotomy between her being in the game, being this really cute, sort of sweet, feminine girl, and doing these horror, having this horrible, sort of monstrous, sort of vendetta, dark side. I thought that was really good. And I don't really think Bella Ramsey is very cute. And so that dichotomy isn't really there. She's very weird looking. Like, she doesn't have she's very how do you put it? Like, she has like a blank face. She does not have very defined features in any way.
Well, it's hard to talk about this without sounding cruel.
Cruel, right? But just do it.
But I mean, yeah, and she can't help it.
Yeah, no. And I'm not trying to say criticize her.
No.
And I'm saying
totally
the way the game does that. It works really well.
Well, look,
that being said, she's a good
you.
actress. I do think she's a good actress, and so that does help a lot. So at least she's a really good actress.
I'll say this: I think it kind of affects her expression, her range, because of her features. Like, a lot of times, her face seems, or her expression seems very samey or wooden.
Yeah.
Well,
she has very small features, right? She has
these
little beady, close together eyes,
right.
Little teeny, thin mouth, little teeny, arrow nose, and that's why there's all these memes out there where, have you seen all these memes of her, with this gigantic head with this teeny little face in the center of it, and I'm just
I feel so bad for
her,
I
feel
man.
bad, but I'm that's kind of accurate, you know what I mean? She just does not have. I don't know. I know it sounds mean, and I'm not trying to be mean, but let's be realistic. It's just the way it is.
Let me further add what you were saying about how Ellie looks in the game. And Ellie's not a psychopath, a sociopath. Maybe she has some tendencies, but like every great deadly killer, on the surface she's very attractive. She's very pretty. You don't expect it, and it's almost like a weapon. It's
disarming.
It's almost like a superpower of hers.
Yeah.
Right. Where she could come off as oh, this little girl, she's so cute. What's she going to do?
And then she stabs you in the throat and cuts your femoral artery and you just bleed out in 10 seconds.
Which when Dina in the game is in love with her and goes along with it helps because she's an attractive girl.
Yeah.
But it's also the downfall, right? Because she's attractive, but inside she's ugly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether she, the Catherine O'Hara had I can't remember the line exactly, but when Tommy's trying to figure out how to save her, she's some people can't be saved.
Yeah.
Joel and her had a lot in common, even when they first met. She is who she is, not just because of Joel.
Right.
Right. That's implied here. So I think there's something a bit missing with that. There's a scene where she's serenading. She's not intentionally serenading, but she's playing the guitar in the record store.
Right.
And Dina's looking at her, and that's a moment where
straight out of the game.
Yeah, straight out of the game. Except in the game, it's this really beautiful girl, with the little scar. You know what I mean? Even her beauty's got a mark on it. They designed her purposely to do those psychological things.
I will say, I don't know what they did, but after Joel was killed, I don't know if they changed her makeup or something, but I do feel they made Bella Ramsey a little prettier after Joel died. I don't really know what it is. Yeah, I don't know how it changed, but there is a noticeable change.
Is it the way she's wearing her hair?
I think it might. That's what I was going to say. I think she had always had her hair in a ponytail before, and now she's wearing it down. That could be it.
We're really not shitting on this little girl, this young actress. She's amazing, and she does a good job.
No, that's what I was going to say. The you have to understand that while I was at some point worried about this, like over these last 4 episodes, especially the last 2 that Joel hasn't been around, I have been very, very happy with how well that she's been carrying these episodes. So
I'll tell you the moment that I think she really nailed is when they had stabbed Joel in the neck.
Right.
And after she was pleading for them not.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna die. You're all gonna fucking die.
That kind of gave me a little goosebumps.
Right.
She sold that moment. But I will say, and this is just a little minor nitpick, and follow this under who the fuck am I to judge anyone.
Right.
So when she's serenading Dina, I almost felt like I wanted to see more heartbreak and emotion. The reason they're there is because of Joel, and there's a huge hole in her heart, right? He taught her how to play that guitar, and I thought for a second that she was going to get emotional while doing it, but she didn't. And for me, I felt like if there's a moment to get emotional, it's you playing that fucking guitar and singing that song. Because she says at the end, because Dina's like, oh, Joel taught you, huh? He's like, yeah, he was a good teacher. But there was no tremor in the voice, no heartbreak, no. That's the only little blemish, little performance thing I saw.
I see that.
Like that's a moment, and that may not be her. That may be just direction, or maybe it's just a choice. I'm hoping that they don't not have that moment of reminding the audience the heartbreak she has. Right, like it's not just vengeance; it's covering hurt and pain.
And I think it will. I think we will get that moment. But I kind of liked it because it really it felt in character to me. Like it because she is so guarded and she says so many walls up, you know. It seemed right to me that she didn't really, you know, waver in that moment.
But that's the very reason why I thought it was right. What you just said, she dropped her walls. She exposed herself a little bit.
No, I get it. I
don't even know if she ever played for anyone else. But anyway, it's such a minor thing. Like, it's whatever. Overall, Bella Ramsey is doing a good job. Killing it. Really happy with her. So, episode 4, and I forgot all about this character. Jeffrey Wright. What a fucking phenomenal character. I can't wait to see more of this character.
Yeah.
First of all, let me just say, Jeffrey Wright is amazing.
Oh, he's great in everything.
The guy is it's effortless. Effortless.
He literally made Westworld watchable, like, for the seasons that it was.
Man, I could watch that guy take a shit and read a newspaper.
I don't know if I want to watch him take a shit, but I could watch him read a newspaper.
Trust me, if I told you there's a scene where Jeffrey Wright takes a shit, reads a newspaper, and it's amazing, you're going to want to watch it. Because you know he's going to do something special.
Oh, God.
It's going to be the best shit-taking, newspaper reading moment you've ever seen.
Holy shit.
Isaac, we see him as a member of Fedra.
Right.
On the day that he betrays Fedra and goes to the resistance side. And it's so amazing how they convey this. He's in a transport van, and one of the Fedra officers are talking about regular citizens in a very disgusting, defamatory way.
Well, you can't handle 3 voters? What these fucking pussies even do? I say, I caught them out here disseminating. And he goes, what? You fucking perverts are out here jerking off and splooging on my streets. So one of the voters turns back to look at me like, are you gonna tell him? And I look back at him like, fuck no. And that's when the guy decides to open his mouth anyway and goes, well, actually, the word disseminate means, and boom! Greenberg slams his fucking head against the wall. There goes his teeth, just blood fucking everywhere. And Greenberg goes, "No one asked you, jizz boy."
Why do you call them that? The citizens, why do you call them voters?
I don't know. Because that's what we fucking call them. Who cares?
Because we took away their rights. Took away their right to vote, and somebody started calling them voters to mock them. So now you know.
I didn't mean anything by it, Sergeant.
Of course you didn't, you're thoughtless.
You can tell that he is disheartened with what's happening. And so when the next scene, you know, the end of the scene happens, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. The end of the scene, they're surrounded by voters, quote unquote.
Yeah, and they're about to get out and blast them all away. And Jeffrey Wright's like, hang on, let me see if I can defuse the situation. He gets out, says, are you so-and-so?
Takes the kid with him.
Yeah, and he's like, come with me. You like the new kid. You could learn something. They hop out, and he says, are you so-and-so? She's like, yeah. He's like, okay. And then you see him stand there, look at everyone. Then he turns around, walks back to the truck, pulls off 2 hand grenades, pops the clip, throws it in, and locks the truck. And the kid's like, what the fuck? And like puts his gun on him, and he's like, you have a choice to make right now, boy. Yeah. It was fucking crazy.
And then, not the exact next scene, but he's torturing a Seraphite. And you see that kid now, 5 years later.
He's outside the door, and he's just like a shell.
Yeah,
like
he's like a fucking shell of a person.
Fucking monster. He's like just a monster like the rest of them.
Jeffrey Wright's character is torturing this cult member. They're basically cult members.
Yeah.
And raincoats. And we first meet them.
So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I actually really want to talk to you about that. I did not like that. Well, it's not that I didn't like it. I understood why they did it, right? In the game, when you get into Seattle, you're starting to get like the deep parts of Seattle. You go through a lot of places where like the nature has overtaken the city.
Yeah.
When you're going through these highly wooded, highly plant covered areas, foliage covered areas, first you see all these like people, like skinned people hanging up all over the place.
Guts hanging. Yeah.
And then you start hearing these whistles and you're like, what the fuck is that, right? And you're like, you keep walking, you're like, what the fuck are whistles? And you actually kind of told me, he's like, have you gotten to the people that whistle yet? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, let me know when you do.
That shit's intense, dude, when you first encounter them.
And like you start hearing the whistle, and then I think in the game, like immediately you just get like shot in the leg with an arrow or something like that. And then you have to like deal with it from there. And it's just a bunch of crazy shit.
Like whistling all around you, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy. And so in the show, you actually meet these people as like a fan, like, you know, as like a group with like kids, and they're like hiking from one place to another place. And then they all get slaughtered by the wolves. Wolves, WLF is the name of Isaac's group that he commands.
And Abby's a wolf too, by the way. That's how it all ties together.
It kind of, and you hear the whistles and stuff, and I kind of felt like it kind of ruined the mystery of when the whistling starts happening to Ellie. You know what I mean?
Well, here's a little detail, because when he's interrogating that cult member, I kind of caught this, but it really was solidified when I listened to podcasts. Jeffrey Wright's character is like, you can't win. And I think that guy he's torturing, he mentions there are true believers, and then there are the ones that are like, I think the group that they encounter, Ellie, are ones that aren't like sycophants.
You mean the wolves?
No, the Seraphites.
Oh, okay.
So the group that we meet with the little girl and the father, and then later they see them being slaughtered. But there's a friction in their group as well.
Is that the case?
Yes. At least according to Greg Mason, and I guess that we're going to get more of that in the coming episodes, because he even says that every day a wolf joins us.
Yeah, that's what the kid says to him. He's like, well, there's no way we can't win, because every day at least one wolf leaves and joins us, and we never leave.
And that scene is brilliant because he burns his hand, and the kid resists in the first time he burns his hand with a pot. Then the second time, he reheats the pan, turns around, and the kid's hand is already out waiting.
Yeah.
And it's at that point he knows this is a busted flush.
And then he just...
There's no way I'm going to break this guy. So he just shoots him in the head.
Yeah, when that scene started, Andrea looked at each other like, should we turn this off? Like, should Noah... I don't know if he should be watching this.
Well, because he's butt-ass naked with his...
dick hanging out.
His tallywhacker and sack swinging and dirty and... beaten and bloody
and I kind of felt like, sorry, maybe.
Wait, is this? And I saw it in the same episode when he sees his first lesbian.
Yeah.
Man, I hope it doesn't like mesh in his brain. Becomes one like brand new fetish.
Oh man,
baby, I want you to heat this pot up and burn my ass with it. Feel like you go in the kitchen and all your pots are like missing. Like 21-year-old Noah's like, what? What are you looking at me for?
Okay, moving on.
Open your coat, Noah. He opens it, like pans fall out.
Jesus Christ.
It's a good hurt, Mike.
Lordy.
Yeah, but that is a fantastic scene.
Yeah, it is a good scene.
So well written so far.
Oh, I just remember in the game, the scene in the subway was fucking terrifying, dude. In the game, I was just like, I don't want to play this. Like, I don't like this part.
And I think they recreated that pretty fucking close.
I don't like it. I don't like this.
Oh, but they did change, and Chloe pointed this out to me. They did change how she lets Dina know. This is another great scene. How Dina finds out that Ellie is immune.
I don't remember how they told her in the game.
So in the game, and they haven't gotten this part in the shows, I don't think it's really a spoiler, spores.
The scenes from the next episode includes a scene about spores.
But that's how in the game, Dina finds out, because Ellie takes her gas mask
and
off.
Puts it on
Dina, because Dina's is cracked. Which is nice. But also like how they changed it for the show. In the game, Ellie and Dina are already in a relationship.
Right.
In the show, Dina's kind of playing some mind games, playing coy,
right.
Hard to get, whatever. Which I think is good. It's good for the drama and the tension. But yeah, she gets bit. Ellie puts her arm out to keep Dina from getting bitten, and then Dina's ready to fucking shoot her in the face.
Yeah, she's like, Dina, don't shoot me! Like, don't fucking shoot me!
Now that's an intense fucking... I don't know if I could have went to sleep after that shit.
Yeah.
Ellie's like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. One thing I didn't, and again, I listened to podcasts, I didn't remember this. She handled it the way that she was able to convince Joel and I forget the name, the girl he was with in the beginning.
Right.
When they found out she had been bitten, and they're like, what the fuck? She created the same scenario of trust.
Right.
Like, you can sit there with a gun on me and watch me. I'm not going to turn.
Yep.
And so I don't know how many hours. Ellie was asleep. She wakes up, and then that's when Dina, in an emotional moment, reveals that I'm pregnant.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I'd forgotten about that in the game. I'd forgotten that she was pregnant.
And they immediately have sex.
We're going to have a baby? I'm going to be a dad?
I'm going to be a dad.
That was a pretty funny line.
Remember, folks, there's no happy endings in this show. So
all I gotta say is, like, I can just see the fume coming out of all the maggots' ears when they saw that scene. You know what I mean? Like,
bigots everywhere. Oh, they're out in full force, man. They're
I bet they are.
You're so sad. You're such a sad men and some women.
Yeah, lots of women, sadly. Yeah. That's the worst part.
They can't get around the bigotry to enjoy a really good story. They can't enjoy a story about people suffering and dying. Come on, get with it.
Come on. That's you guys love suffering and dying. Like, suffering is what you love. I mean, and you don't even know the people. So it's exactly what you want. You want people you don't know to suffer and die.
But straight suffering and dying, okay? It's a different level, all right?
Yeah, it only works for them if it's real human beings suffering and dying. That's the only thing they celebrate.
Oh, I did like we got a little switchblade action, too.
Yeah.
When Bella kills that guy. Because in the game, you're fucking... That switchblade is your best friend.
Yep. That was a good little scene. That scene was, like, straight out of the game. Like... I remember, I was like, dude, and they're coming down the thing. I was like, holy shit, this is just like shot for shot from the game, dude.
Here's something funny. Greg Mason in the podcast was like, action is just action.
Right.
Right. You've seen it 1,000 times. But stealth
right.
is tension.
Yeah.
And he was like, in the game, like I fucking wanted that moment in the game where you're sneaking around and it was like watching the fucking game, dude. It really was.
Dude, it was literally, I was like, dude, I lived this. Like, that's what I thought to myself. Like, I fucking lived this scene. Like it's crazy. It was crazy. It was so well done.
Should we rate it?
I guess let's rate it. I'll rate it. I'm gonna rate it.
Remember, we do funny ratings.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Okay, just making sure.
I mean, does it have to be funny?
I got your back.
Can it be?
No, it could be.
Okay, no, I actually do have a funny.
It could be disturbing.
I got a funny one.
It could be revealing.
I had one I was gonna do.
All right.
But and if you don't pick it, I'll reveal it afterwards.
I haven't even thought of anything, so you're safe.
I'm gonna do 4 alcoholic stoner psychiatrists out of 5.
Oh, that's a good one, Catherine O'Hara. She's like the shrink I would like.
Yeah, absolutely. She's amazing.
You know, quit your bitching.
Yeah, no bullshit, man. She don't give a fuck.
I'll give this 4 out of 5 grenades in a transport truck with surprise Fedras.
You know who the guy who was the asshole in it? Drake from Drake and Josh, like that old Nickelodeon TV show about the 2 brothers who were like...
Did he get molested by the...
No. The other one got molested. I'm pretty sure that was him. Like, pretty damn sure. It looked just like him. Anyways, the one I didn't do was 4 out of 5 broken golf clubs to the neck. That was the one I didn't do. But
I like your pick.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
It's a little less obvious.
Yeah, a little less obvious. That's why I went for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
So if you would like to support this show, keep us going, keep us rolling along, uploading content, you can support us by going to patreon.com/baldguysbadmovies and donate to the show. We're going to use those funds to make sure we can see any movies that you guys want to see and getting our studio set up so we can start recording video and doing these not just audio but also video on YouTube. And once a month, we will pick a patron to choose a movie for us to review. And we'll review it. We'll dedicate it to you. But either way, we just hope you enjoy the show and keep on coming back.
He was in Ant-Man too, Lawrence Fishburne?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember that movie at all, dude.
He would turn big and small. He would turn big instead of turning small.
Wow, I have no recollection of that. I know I saw that fucking movie, but...
And it has Walter Goggins in it.
Who did he fucking play? Maybe I need to watch that fucking movie again.
He played one of the bad guys in it, dude.
Is this a Mandela effect? Did I slide into a different reality? What?